This video should help you with the navigation through the sites. So we have for software for management specifically this issue tab here. There are other tabs like blogs, forums and polls you can watch and use, but they are not specifically relevant for software for management. If you go to create content, you will get a list of all the content types you can create. For the course on software for management, the issues and the evaluations will be the most central things to do. I'm going to quickly go to the forums just to say that there is space created for modeling, spreadsheet modeling. This is a forum where if you have questions or comments about the course and their software management projects and software management course. So if you have questions and comments, you should post them here and then we'll look at it. But for this course, the issues are the most relevant part. So if you go to this tab, I think this will be your main screen to work on. You can also create a new issue over here, so you don't need to use this tab. There are always multiple ways to get anywhere. The first thing you'll see here is the project. So if you click on this project, what you will do is you will jump to a more specific issue queue. So if you click, for example, on tutorial case, this female dominant markets will disappear. But on top here you see tutorial now, and so you stick to one project. That also has the benefit that if you now click on create a new issue, that you already are in the project. While I'm going to do the same from the main page, so from where you have all the projects. If you now click on create a new issue, the first thing it will ask you is, yes, but which project, right? So if you don't see this, that means that you are already in a specific project issue list. So sometimes it can be confusing because if you read an issue, say, oh, this is an interesting issue, and you click on the first link, you're not going to the issue. If you want to go to the issue, you need to click on the title of the issue. So this is the title of the issue. If you click on this one, you get to the explanation of the issue. You see here, there are two attachments in this file. You can create attachments by browsing for an attachment. I'm just gonna select whatever, like this JPEG here. If I open it, now if I push attach, then it will already be pushed to the system. You can add multiple attachments by attaching several here, and you can then change the name. I'm not going to push unattach because then this, well, I'll push on it and I'll remove it from the server later on. So now it's on the server. You can change the description. The description is the thing that shows up in the link on the top. And if you want to add a new one, you just, again, browse here and then you click on attach. So this is how you upload things. At this moment, if you go to the issues, there is a project called tutorial. The idea is that you don't add anything to the tutorial cases. The tutorial are just there to demonstrate you how you should use it. So you see already the color define, like there's one student who already added a new issue and then it's just active. You see that it's white, so there is no color code now. If the issue is finished and finished properly, then it will be green. So you can build on top of green issues. You don't build on top of any of the other issues. Only green issues you can build on top. So let's first go to the red one. The red one is closed by owner. That means that or there is something wrong with the issue and you shouldn't continue, or the owner doesn't want to work on it anymore and someone else can take it up. So then you can change the status. If it's purple, then it means that there's duplicate. So this means there is a conflict. So some other student has said that there was a conflict. I'm going to look at this issue right now. So open it in a new tab. And so the first thing you should say, like this one says Springlane. Now there is a case Springlane. So I've just changed the title a bit to say, let's assume this is a duplicate of it. So the first thing you then need to do is you say that it's a duplicate, but you also give the link, right? You really need to give the link so we can solve the conflict. Duplicate means conflict, and that needs to get solved. So that's red and purple. The yellows are the most interesting in the sense that those are issues that are finished but need review. So this one, jewelry, you will find jewelry also as a case in the videos. So remember that there's a tab over here called Mozy Courses, and there's one tab called Software for Management. If you click on it, I'll click on it quickly and have a look at it. It opens and there's a guideline. The guideline you should use to see how to create an issue. The videos give you more, give you actually tutorials, so you should see all those videos. And one of the first videos will be about the case, the jewelry case. So I'll just use it here as an example. If you click on it, you will see there's an attachment. The attachment contains the model created in the tutorial. Okay, that's just a simple one. To show a basic level model. So it's a model and it's a basic level. If you want to know more about what this basic and model means, you should look at the guidelines. Okay. So, but the most default, or let's say the target kind of case, will be the Springlane case. You will see this as in the videos as an example of the Monte Carlo simulation. If I go to, let's go back to the issues. If I go to the issues, you will see that there are several titles called Springlane. Springlane is the title of the project you're working on. Remember that the projects are more teams, like there's a tutorial case here, there's a female dominant marketer. There will be a video about internet innovation also as a team to work in. So, but this is the real project called Springlane. So there's one that should be, so the thing is that the Springlane, it's the dataset is an advanced dataset, and if you look up the meaning of an advanced dataset, it means that you have all the necessary information. So if you click on this link, it opens a PDF, has all kind of explanation of what the case is about, so you actually have a full case, and they have already managerial questions, so you don't need a managerial question in this case because it's in the data. And so then you build on top of this for your model. So if you see here, you see Springlane model. This is a normal model. So that's the main model. There is also a simplified version, so Springlane model simplified. If you compare the attachment in this file to the attachment in that file, you can get an idea what the difference is between a basic model and a normal model. Okay. And later on you see that there is also a Springlane simulation that builds on top of this issue. So normally this should have been closed to work on top of it, but it's just a tutorial to give you some idea. So we're gonna see, let's have a look at the normal model. So it's basically the first thing you need to do is say where it comes from. So if you click on this link, I'll open it in the other one. It shows the Springlane data. Okay, so I'm going back to the model. So the first link should link to the data, or link, and in most of your case it should also link to the managerial question, because well, look at the tutorial I'll create on issues later on. That should help you a little bit. In this case, so what you have is you say, okay, we're gonna work on that thing, we're gonna give some more information, and then you finally, when you upload a file, so here there's no attachment. Here in the first comment you say, okay, so here should be a conclusion about your issue, and then you say this change the status from active to need review, but then you really need to have the model as attached, and then it will show up in the need review list. I'll quickly go to the simulation also. So if you click on the simulation, oh, there should be a link here telling you where the model is coming from. So I'll change that later on. There should be, well, let's do that. So this is the model. I'll open it in a new tab. This is the link you have there, right? So you just copy it, and if you create a simulation, the first thing that should be, can't edit it here. I'll need to go to my account. Sorry for that. I'll Springlane simulation. So I'm gonna edit it. I'll put it in front. So there's starting from the model, but I forgot to put the link there. So there is the link. So you always should give the link what to tell where you're building on top of. So now there's just one link. I actually expect that you will have several links saying like this is a managerial question, this is several of the data we are using, and now we're building a model, right? For Monte Carlo simulations, like in this case, you probably just have one reference to the model you're gonna use to build the simulation on. So that's basically the, back to the student view, that's the student view. So that is basically what you have in to work with. Should explain a little bit. If I go back to the issues, let's go back to the issues. There is gonna look at the data and the Springlane to tell you a little bit more about the comments. So you see that in this one we uploaded, with the comments we uploaded the solution. In the data I gave an example of using ratings. So at this moment I created a comment indicating that I actually like this case, right? And then on top you will see this average quote by average rating by all the comments. So if other people create another rating, this average will change, and you can see that there's one vote right now, and the average is at the moment 4. Okay, that's just details. So that's about issues. If you go to evaluations, you always need to take into account, you can click here on evaluations, but this will actually not be part of the evaluations because it's not in need review. So I'm going to go to a case where it is in review, like over here. There are already 2 evaluations. This is how they finally will look. So if there are more evaluations, you get an overview of the different ratings given for the different criteria. There are several criteria, right? There's accuracy, complete, creativity, and wellness. You well written. You can look at the information in the guideline. The title will show up over here. But if you now click on create an evaluation, it will actually put the right issue here. Now, if the issue is not in need review, it is actually not in this list. And then of course the first value will be shown. So you need to be careful to really look that this issue is the issue you're going to evaluate. So double check. So it has 0. So in our case there were 2 evaluations. It was a normal managerial question, and the title is at the end. It's called Springlane model. So really check that you are evaluating that the issue is the one you are evaluating, right? That there's no mistake over here. And then you, quite straightforward, you give a title, you give a rating. If you go over it, normally it should tell you a little bit. No, it's not showing what the levels mean. Let's see if it's doing it over here. Nope. But if you go to software for management and then again guideline, you will see, I think it's the last part. So this is about the different categories and the different level for each category. But in the end, there's there should be something about the rating. Should be here somewhere. I think it's in the default. I will add it to the guideline, but there should be here somewhere the level. Okay, it's not here, but believe me, if you go to guidelines, it will be there. I'll add it right after this video. I will add it over here what the levels are. I know that if you go to an issue and you add a comment to it, let's just go to 1. If you go to a comment, it should actually tell you which they are. So this is a bad one, a poor, reasonable, good, and great. I will put it also in the documentation. That's this for the navigation of the site. There are other things like tracker that can show you all the content, so not only the issues but all the content. You've seen that also in the issues that there is this red new next to an issue. That means that I didn't yet click on this one, and it actually tells me over here that it's a new reply. You also saw it over here. If you click on the issue, you see that it's new over here. So this is a new issue, but it's also there's one new reply to one new issue. So I didn't see both of them. Okay. And I'm gonna, oh yeah, right. You can over here have different, look at the different projects, and then you just click on the view project to get the explanation of the project. You could also have done that with the tracker, but it's not as easy as doing this. Why it's slow? Okay, it's slow. Now the explanations I give over here, they're very simple. You can just create also your own projects. I expect actually that to happen. But make sure that the projects are actually very general, so that it should be a team, not a project. If you have a very specific project like Springlane, it should be in the title, not as a project. But if well, I'll leave it up to you if you want to use it or not. I mean, I've seen that other students in previous years likes to create also polls. So if you really like to do that, I mean, you see that previous polls existed, and okay, I'm not going to get into detail about this because basically this is only if you want to do it. It has nothing to do with the criteria. So I'll stop here.